In this video, I'll cover Synology's C2 Storage, which is Synology's own cloud backup service. I'll go over pricing and features of C2 Storage, walk through setting up a backup task using Hyper Backup, and finally, go over accessing and restoring files backed up to C2. Looking at Synology's C2 Storage website, we see that Synology gears C2 Storage to Synology NAS users, offering an integrated and cost-effective cloud storage solution. And price-wise, C2 is a very affordable cloud storage service. If you go with their Plan 1 option, you could pay as little as $9.99 a year for 100 gigabytes of storage, and even if you need 1 terabyte of storage space, you'd only pay $59.99 a year. Compared to Backblaze's B2 pricing, which for the same 1 terabyte of storage, you'll pay $100 if you have a similar usage pattern that Backblaze has listed on their pricing page. Considering that Backblaze's B2 is much cheaper than AWS S3, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud, we can see that pricing for C2 storage is very competitive. Switching back to Synology's website, what you get with C2 is a well thought out set of features. For Plan 1, you get daily backups with versions going back 30 days and no fees beyond the cost of the subscription. If you need more storage space and flexibility in your backup configuration, you could go with Plan 2, where you can purchase up to 200 terabytes, do hourly backups, and customize your backup retention policy as well. Backups are all AES 256 encrypted, so you can be certain your data is safe with a trusted encryption standard. Lastly, another nice feature is the ability to share C2 storage space with multiple Synology NASs if you are using the same Synology account on each of them. C2 Storage integrates seamlessly with Hyper Backup, and accessing your backed up data is easy and convenient using either Hyper Backup itself, the Hyper Backup Explorer desktop utility, or the C2 Storage web portal, all of which we'll cover later in the video. Let's set up a backup job in Hyper Backup to C2 Storage. First, if you haven't done so already, make sure to install Hyper Backup from the Package Center. In my case, Hyper Backup is already installed, so I'll launch it from the main menu. I'll create a new data backup task to start up the backup wizard, and for backup destination, select Synology C2 Cloud Backup. You'll need to log on to the C2 service and authorize Hyper Backup to access C2 storage. Once that is done, you'll return to the backup wizard where you need to select a backup destination directory. A default name is entered, but I'd recommend giving it a name that is more meaningful. I'll name mine DS920 Pictures, which is what I'll be backing up to C2 from my DS920 Synology NAS. I'll select my picture shared folder and continue on. Hyper Backup lets you back up certain applications and its associated data from this screen, but I won't do that in this video, so I'll click Next. Here we can name the backup task something meaningful and adjust various options to fit our needs. The default options are all reasonable, but I'll change a couple of settings. First, I'll change when the backup will take place to 2 in the morning when no one should be on the network, and enable client-side encryption so data is encrypted prior to uploading to C2. We'll need to supply a password to set up client-side encryption. We'll then get this message letting us know that an encryption key will be downloaded, and if we forget the password and lose the encryption key, we won't be able to restore our backup. Make sure to keep your encryption key and password in a safe place. I'll click Yes, which will trigger the encryption key to be downloaded. And lastly, to start up the backup process immediately, I'll click Yes when prompted. To access backed up files on C2 Storage, we have a few options. Within Hyper Backup, we can select Backup Explorer and log in with either the password or the encryption key we set up earlier. Once there, we can navigate to the version we want and either copy or restore a folder or download a file we'd like to restore. While in Hyper Backup, we can also adjust the backup task settings and download the encryption key again. We can also access files backed up to C2 using the Synology Hyper Backup Explorer desktop utility that you can download from the Synology Download Center. I'll leave a link to the Synology Download Center in the description below. Launch the application and select Browse C2 Backup, where you need to log into your Synology account. I know it's difficult to see, but here I'm selecting the DS920 Pictures destination we created earlier and logging in with the password that was set for it. Once logged in, you can navigate to the version you want to restore, right-click on the file and select Copy To, which provides the option to download the file somewhere on your local hard drive. The last option to access files backed up to C2 is using the C2 Storage web portal, which I'll also link in the description below. Like the other options, you can click on the Browse icon and log in with your password or encryption key if you set up client-side encryption. You'll then be able to navigate to the version of the file you want to restore and download the file to your local hard drive. One other task you can do while logged in to the C2 Storage web portal is delete old backup folders that you don't need anymore. To wrap up, Synology's C2 Storage is a great option for Synology NAS owners that would like to back up data to the cloud. It's affordable, secure, offers a nice set of features, works seamlessly with Hyper Backup, and you have a few convenient options to retrieve files backed up to C2. What do you think? Are you planning to use Synology C2 Storage, or do you have a cloud solution that you like better? Leave a comment below to let me know your thoughts. Lastly, if this video was informative, please make sure to like it and consider subscribing to help this channel grow. Thanks so much for watching.